All right, I am live. And there you are. I see you, Ralph. Hello. It's waiting for you. Are you seeing me?
Hello, finally, at least on Instagram. I'm not sure about Facebook, but we just pretend we are on both platforms.
Listen.
Oh,
Hi, everyone.
cool.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Yeah, I see a whole bunch of people are joining. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Sure, guys, it's been hectic trying to get this IG Live, FB Live situation going. But I think Ralph and I have finally figured it out. Hopefully, we're live on Facebook right now. So Ralph and I, in fact, Ralph, I'll let you lead this conversation since I'm featuring on your track. Would you like to say hi and introduce yourself to the peeps?
myself, I, I'm of course Ralf GUM. And as I said earlier, we are here to promote our new project as well, or to speak about it, because there's so much to say about it. And um, I asked people to put some questions about the song or our work, comments for our ads. And as well, I encourage people to put their questions here in the comments. And I'll start with a question quoted from those questions, which goes to you, Bongi. People were asking, how did we, and I think I told the side of my few interviews already,
Yeah.
I received 6 requests from your management, um, which I at that time. And but I really was digging your voice, So I did some research and I found more well-written songs. And hence was waiting for the moment I could approach you. And then we worked together last year on my latest album, Progressions, on a song Used to Be.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, as they. We have a second project.
Yeah.
More projects will come soon, but I want to know from you, how did you actually meet me, and maybe as well, who did?
I met you on a phone call when you called me. I actually thought I was being pranked, to be very honest with you. I didn't believe it was you. Because I mean, who expects a call from you? so so yeah, I met you on a phone call, and for me it was just weird. I was driving, and then next thing there's this voice on the line with this accent, and I'm like, what am I being punked here? Like, what's going on, and then you invited me to sing on a song on progressions, and remember you sent me 2 tracks. You sent me 2 songs, and I listened to both and I loved both, but the one with used to be resonated more with me, and so I started to write for that. But to be very honest with you, I felt like I wasn't ready to write used to be when you sent it to me. I knew what I wanted to write, but I hadn't gone through the whole journey of living, I guess, the experience that I wrote about. Because used to be is about like it's about what you used to be and growing out of, that scared self, the person who listens to other people's opinions about you and who you should be. And growing into a person who has their own voice, who has their own mission, vision, dream, etc. And so because I was still stuck in that space of in between, I hadn't quite grown out of it, but I grew out of it. And that's when I finished the song, which is why actually the song took that long to write. No, the song took very long to write. But thankfully you were as patient as you were.
Yeah, and I think you grow with challenges. You have to have challenges to be able to grow. And if you say you weren't ready, obviously you were ready because you wrote the song, and it feels like a highlight still on the last album for me, and we did a nice remix package for it. And so
Yeah.
for project, we had to work again, for me. I just
Yeah.
was idea because I think I somehow have a feeling now what resonates with you. And luckily, the new tune did resonate with you, and you
Yes.
wrote beautiful, I'm not even sure, some deep thought lyrics for that one again. And it leads me to another question someone was asking, what's actually the motive behind the song? And this question is clearly for you because you were the one writing the.
Yeah, you know what? It was a very scary song for me to write because I thought to myself, sure, writing about this subject matter on a song that doesn't belong to me is quite risky, you know. But I thought that it was something that was very real at that point. I tell the story about how I saw a tweet, somebody who tweeted why they never get into the right relationship and why they always end up being the one in tears. And so for me, having been through similar experiences and seen that in my own life, you know, I could only write from my personal truth. And I guess that's the thing about being a songwriter, is that you have a responsibility to write from a very real place, in order for people to be able to take something meaningful out of the music. So for me, it was honestly about taking your own power in a relationship. I believe that, you know, the more I read on social media, the more I speak to men as well. Many men are going through that situation where they love somebody who doesn't love them, you know, and somebody who doesn't appreciate them, somebody who might do things to harm them. And the song basically just says, don't let them love you. Ultimately, you have the decision in your life, and you have the power to take that decision and say, you know what, I'm not going to be with a person who is hurtful to me.
Yeah, I mean, um, for me, it's always nice when I get a vocal where I feel there's a real message in it. That's what motivates you, and I got it from you now the second time, For very hard to speak on that topic. It feels like whatever we say, it be wrong. But obviously, I see those guys too, and like you say in the lyrics, you see it in their eyes. It reflects in their eyes, and so as a man, I can only agree to stay away from those. You have to find a
Mm.
way, identify them, and stay away from them. And for me, it's satisfying if they're in it, and that's why it was a pleasure to work on that song. Which leads me to another question, which probably is for me. Someone was asking, are you planning to release an album? Not really at the moment. Looking for something I do for 20th anniversary of Togo Music, which will be next year. And maybe,
Congratulations.
thank you, maybe I'll compile a lot of the music which was done before onto a compilation, which then becomes a kind of album. For this year, I decided my whole career, I actually was always working towards the next album, and I want to have the freedom to just release when something is done, and hence decided to only do single projects this year, and I'm not even sure where they lead me to. Maybe I compile them into an album, or I let them remix for a further album. But at the moment, I just want to explore, meet people. That's why I as well call the singles Ralf GUM Meets Bongi Mvuyana. And I just want to work with more people and meet them, and, have the opportunity to just explore. So no, not really working towards an album, but Bongi has out currently, which is not house music, but beautiful. So maybe you want to say something about that too?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the part where you say that sometimes you just don't want to release an album, man. Like for me, my journey to my album called DOPAMINE, Oh, it's such a harrowing journey. And I think that there's a lot of growing and learning that I had to do even to release that album. It took 6 years to release that one album. And, you know, it can get frustrating as an artist if you are always waiting for years to release anything because, you know, what I found in myself, right, I'll have a particular phase, right? And if I wait too long before I release in that phase, in my next phase of music, I won't want to release what I previously wrote. So it's very important to just release, like I'm releasing a lot this year because I have 6 years of content inside of me. You know, just because I didn't release the album 6 years ago, it doesn't mean that I didn't have other ideas and thoughts. So that's why I'm releasing so much this year, because 6 years is a long time, you know. And dopamine for me was about love. It's about my ups and downs in love, and it was about it's a snapshot, a 2 year snapshot of my life 6 years ago, and everything I went through, you know, and I write, like I said, from a real place, so that people can find meaning in whatever I write, so that people can find something that can, you know, there's a lot of people who've said to me, you know how much I cried through this song, or do you know how much this song has actually brought me through a very difficult time. And I believe, you know, you begin to impact people's lives when you write from a very, very real place. So dopamine is about that. It's not a house music. It's not house music. It's like alternative soul. But I do have some house remixes coming. The first one will probably be by Karyendasoul, very talented young man. And also working with China Music and Ulo De Song on some other remixes. So we will, you know, I'll still stay true to house music, just like I still stay true to soul music.
Yeah. And obviously, our single "Don't Let Them Love You" is out now. We had some nice news. If I'm not mistaken, Ukosi playlisted us, and a thank you to Ukosi FM, of course.
Yes.
We made some top 40s, Swan FM, UFM. Thank you for that too. And received some feedback on the tune. I just had a Skype meeting today with real people, Oli Lazaros, and he said he loves the new song. So it seems to resonate. And I think that's the best feeling, isn't it? Manage to give your inner self, and it then resonates with people, and you get that feedback that you somehow touch the nerve or something like this.
Definitely. For me, I'm always very nervous about releasing music because I'm like, will it resonate, and is it relevant? You know, of course, you don't write to be relevant. You just write a truth, and then you hope for the best. And so it's always great to hear that feedback, because people don't understand how. They don't understand the ups and downs of actually writing music and being a musician, and the nerves that come with it, and the anxiety and the fear and the doubt, you know, that you have to fight through. And you know, when then you get that affirmation to say, you know what, actually what you did means something to somebody. It won't mean something to everybody, but like, at least if the people that you intended it for are loving and appreciating it, that's great. I also really do appreciate it when people in the music industry tell us that our songs are great, because, you know, musicians are the biggest critics, you know. So when musicians say that your song is good, it's often like, okay, great, I did do something worth, you know, worth putting out there. So I really love it when people give us that kind of feedback.
I still fight against this doubt every time I release, and every song or every production is like giving a part of me birth to a child. You don't know what the outcome is, and if the word that birth there. And yeah, a lot of people, I think, don't know thought and effort actually goes into the way we treat our music, because we are both not really interested in just putting out music for the sake of, I don't know, having something out there, or um, being relevant or whatever reason for people to do music, but
Mm, mm. And thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that, Ralph, because I think that many people think that once you're established, and once you've been doing this for a long time, you don't get nervous anymore. It's just like, yeah, I'm Ralf GUM, so everybody's gonna just get my music and enjoy my music. But it's not, that's not the case. That is absolutely not the case. Can I just address some of these?
and it maybe leads me to another question. Put it down because someone asked, how do you manage to keep your fan base with the same style of music? I mean, house music evolves, but your music is still the same and still dope. First of all, thank you for. I'll try to progress, and of course, house music evolves, and I think my aim is to be part of that progression, but I'm not really interested in trends anymore. You know, I don't look too much left and right, and maybe that's exactly the secret because I keep giving you myself what I feel at a certain time, and it evolves over time what I feel too, and obviously my skills hopefully evolve too, so my sound gets better and the compositions get stronger. But yeah, I think you keep a fan base by staying what you are known for and not changing with trends too much. And anyway, I couldn't change because I mean, house music is my religion and soulful house is what I do and what I am and what I feel. So I don't even think about what could I do to maybe reach more people. But still, once you put something out, once something is finished or at the stage where you send it to the singer to say, I think I'm finished, what do you think? I'm always nervous about the product, even I know I can trust my ears, you know. I
Definitely.
think it's a good thing. It only shows that you take it serious and that you want to put something out which is not average.
Definitely. I agree with you there. It's all about staying true to your art and staying true to who you are. I just want to address some of these questions that are here on the comments. Um, so here, Butumelo Lisajani asks us, what advice can you give to someone who is passionate about music but struggles to execute it because of finances?
Hey,
Can I take that question?
I want to say something too, but take it first.
Oh, okay, cool. Um, Collaboration is your most is your friend. Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. There's many artists who are like you who struggle financially, and you will find that there's certain producers who want a voice on their tracks, but they maybe can't afford to have a voice on their tracks, while you can't afford to hire someone. So you could always reach out to them and strike up a deal. You'd be surprised. The interesting thing about the music industry is that there's one side where there's certain people who won't let you into their world, won't let you into their music, and then there are other people who will embrace you. So it's about finding those people who will embrace you and collaborating really and making sure that everyone's interests are taken care of. So no one is being taken advantage of. Make sure that your contracts are in place and that you're working very well with each other. And just vibe, especially at the beginning, it's very difficult. I know, like as somebody who is independent and a lot of my music, I finance myself. It does get challenging. So you have to find creative ways of collaborating with other people. You have to find creative ways of also making sure that other people who work on your music are also taken care of and not taken advantage of. Ralph, you wanted to add something.
Yes, I wanted to speak about the production side because you are speaking about as a singer. I'm not sure, maybe it was a producer. Um, we all know those struggles, and in the beginning it was difficult to even, at the time I started, a computer was not enough because you needed analog equipment, and the computer only was there to think. But for a long time it was hard to, finance the equipment and as well find the time next to the hustle you have to do to be able to make music. And it takes, effort and patience to get there. The good thing is today you only pretty much need a laptop or a computer and one program, and you are able to already produce. So the investment isn't that big anymore, but obviously it's a struggle everyone goes through. Once you have that computer and the one program, you want to have a good mic to be able to record, and once you have a good mic, you want to have the next thing. So it will go on, and I haven't reached I have a beautiful studio, Bongi knows it, and I have a lot of equipment, but I haven't reached that level of equipment yet. I would like to have to be even producing stronger or clear or whatever. So the way is to keep doing, and if there's some talent, I believe with time there will be some income, which then enables you to invest further, and you keep growing over time. Nothing happens, unfortunately, overnight.
It doesn't. And Ralph, I always think of it this way. It's like starting a business. A lot of entrepreneurs will tell you it takes so much time and effort while you're doing your side hustle. Well, while you are actually doing your actual job, this thing is a side hustle for as long as, it can't finance itself. And then one day there's a breakthrough. One day everyone has that opportunity that enables them to start to make money and off of their music and potentially make it the only career that they have. Even one of the first conversations I had with Monique Bingham, she told me that she used to have a 9 to 5 until like her music got to a point where she could do it.
14, I think.
6 years ago.
Even after Take Me to My Love, she still went
sure.
To okay, and it's okay if you really want to do that. You will always find ways to do it next to what you have to do in addition to maybe survive or finance what you are doing.
Yeah, definitely. Here Raoul says, for us dancers, it is powerful and helps us to have a voice. So you are doing a lot. Thank you very much. So here's another question, Ralph. I would like to know who inspired your sound. It is very unique. Which artists did you listen to in your early years of becoming a producer? This is from, I think, LM Katini.
Okay. I got into house music, or really in contact with house music, maybe when I was 16. Before that, I was listening to everything, from hard rock to pop music to whatever, early hip hop, early electronics. What really changed me and had the, I think, biggest influence on my sound was when I visited New York, which was the first time, I think, in 1990. And I went to clubs where house music was played the whole night. We didn't have that at that time in Germany. And it was people like Louis Vega who had a Wednesday at Factory Bar, and there were other more underground clubs like Jackie 60. And I think this changed my life. I knew this is the music I, and regardless, it's people like, Masters at Work, DJ Spinner, Moody Man.
Sure.
Later maybe who influenced it, but I hope I created own sound out of all those influences, and I'm still trying to, define my way of doing music. With every new production, I try to find something new in there. That's the game.
Yes.
Fun.
And look, as somebody who's been following your music for a while, I can attest to the fact that you keep on coming with something different. Every album, has that different element in it. What I am loving is your usage of string instruments. Oh, on progressions, one of my favorite songs is We Repeat because of those violins. They're just, oh my goodness. And then this new thing that you're working on. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about this new thing you're working on, or is it not time yet?
I posted a little snippet on social media a week ago maybe, and I confuse people because now it's Don't Let Them Love You, which is out, but that one will be the next single. I worked with the same violin player I worked with on Progressions, which is an amazing, amazing player who is probably the best violin player in South Africa, I think, at least if you want to look out of the classical genre, which is his main income. He plays at the Johannesburg Symphonic Orchestra, the lead violin too. But he's very open-minded and plays on other stuff too, pop music. You can book him, you need to write a score for him. So that's sometimes a bit challenging, but I work with a co-composer, Nivalito, who used to play cello.
Love Nivalito.
So he's able to write all those scores. And yes, what I posted will be for the next single I will release after Don't Let Them Love You. I don't have a release date yet, and it will be together with Theo, another very talented South African female singer. Another person I wanted to work with for a while, but it wasn't supposed to happen early. Finally, it happened, and yeah, maybe in August we should release this, or in September.
Fantastic. And Ralf, I must commend you for always finding these amazing vocalists. Because otherwise, I mean, we wouldn't, I for one, discovered, well, I knew Monique Bingham from We Had a Thing, but I didn't know who she was until Kissing Strangers. I think when I heard Kissing Strangers, I was like, what is this? And the work that you've subsequently done with her, the work you've done with Portia Monique, the work you've done with Kafele, what's that song that I absolutely love on? Oh, it escapes me, but I always find such amazing vocalists on your albums, and I'm so happy you're working with Theo. She's fantastic, and you're not afraid of going outside of what other people would expect in house music. I think there's certain vocalists in house music that have established themselves, so it's expected for people to collaborate with them. But you tend to look out for even those that people might not look for, and that leads me to a question to you: is how do you find them? How do you find us?
Always by coincidence, I feel. But obviously, I try to keep my ears open, and I think it's very necessary to look out of our genre because we just see the same people repeating the same formula, and that's as well important why we always need new talent within house music to not become repetitive. I can't tell you how I find you, but the vocal is such an important part of how I wanna do music and present music. Nothing would work without you guys. you know. So I have to look for you and have to search for you. And um, yeah, I'm just happy. I think I have a good feeling what works on which track and who to approach for which playback, which then in the end helps to have a good song together.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ralf. Let me just see if there's any other questions. Let me just see.
I think on Facebook we are still kind of struggling. It keeps cutting and coming back. I saw we have a viewer from the States who says, thank you for the music we do. I appreciate that. And a few other comments. I'm not seeing the question at the moment, but
Cool, cool. Tato here in Instagram says, thank you as well for your willingness to share your experiences and tips on the how-to. Not a lot of creatives are this open. This is very informative. And I must say, you know, I agree with her when she says that a lot of the time, creatives, musicians, artists like to keep to themselves how you got there, how you did a thing. And I think we need to create a better culture of sharing because, you know, it's so easy as an artist to feel like you're on your own.
yes, it's easy to feel that. And if you look on it from the other side, it sometimes looks like it would be easy and what we said earlier happen overnight and suddenly there's this new big thing. It usually doesn't happen like that. There's a lot of work and time and investment behind it. And I think, like you say, it's very important if we are asked that we honestly share our journey and as well the struggles and not only, you know, the hype and out and bright side of,
Yeah.
there are definitely a lot of bright sides to it. I mean, I made my hobby, what used to be a hobby, became my profession in my life, and I'm forever thankful for that. But it doesn't mean it's always easy and you're just there, you know. So yeah, we all go through those struggles, and I think it's very important to guide newcomers too. That's why I try to mentor people throughout my career, and as well, if I don't mentor them, but if I work with someone, I try to give guidance where possible. And it's the only way to grow, you know. I think nobody can grow only on his own. We will grow together, helping each other and lending each other a hand.
Cool. I see a question here by Butumelo. She says, I don't know if it's been asked. However, will you guys shoot a music video for your new single?
We don't even are allowed to go out of, we would be allowed to go out of the house, but I actually made the conscious decision that I want to stay inside as much as possible. Not only my safety, but as well the safety of my family, my kids. And so it's not really a good time to now go and shoot a video where you need a big crew. Maybe we thought about an improvised kind of unofficial video, but then it didn't feel appropriate either to just do something small. So for the moment, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, and you know what? I guess a video has its place. I mean, I think for used to be, it worked, but like I think this song is gonna have a different journey. I just feel it, you
I
know.
hope a lot of people really listen to the lyrics. Um, because that's what makes the song special. And
Mm,
if they do it, yeah, it hopefully, like you say, its own journey. Unfortunately, we have to say, because we were speaking about finances and struggles earlier, that's another struggle. Is at least not a video in the professional quality we want to have. It's quite an investment, and
Yeah.
so we have the same, not the same, but we have limitations too when we put something out. And at the end of the day, hopefully the song does the talking.
Yes, definitely. Well, are there any questions on your side, Ralf? I think that's all of the questions from this IG Live over here.
I think, or I hope we gave people an insight. Actually, not too much into the song, but in general, I hope a conversation people were enjoying. And if you did, you still can comment. And if you want, we can come back at another point and answer more questions if there are more. I'm just happy people tuned in and there's interest, and the song is out. Get it.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much, guys, for joining this IG Live. I'm going to try and save it to IGTV so that people can watch it a little bit later. But honestly, it's been such an amazing journey. Ralf, thank you so much again. It's been a great journey working on this track. I think from the moment I heard this song, I was like, yes! So thank you for trusting me with the track, you know, and this journey that we've taken on this track.
I'm looking forward to further journeys.
Yes, definitely. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, guys, thank you so much. And catch this on IGTV if you came a bit late. Tell your peeps about it too. Thank you, Ralf.
Thank you. Bye.
Ciao.